Hey everyone, today is Star Wars Day 2020 on May 4th. Get it? May the 4th be with you? Ha! Well, I, the Big Bad Wolf, am doing another read-along review vlog in honor of the occasion. Yep, the book and audio read-along adaptation of the second Star Wars film, The Empire Strikes Back from 1980. And this is also the tie into this movie's 40th anniversary this year. With that said, it's no surprise Star Wars was such a big property in the 1980s. With the first film, A New Hope from 1977, being such a big hit. And you saw me review the read-along of that one 3 years ago. Yeah, remember? Blah. That wasn't the read-along you heard. Besides that, get a load of who co-produced and distributed the read-along title here. Buena Vista Records. Yep, you may recall me bringing up how, starting in 1979, Disneyland and Vista Records began co-producing and distributing Star Wars read-along titles with Lucasfilm. And it's so ironic, given how Disney would buy Lucasfilm in 2012 and then buy 20th Century Fox in 2019. And with the latter, Lisa solves legal complications with the original Star Wars trilogy and the prequels, since 20th Century Fox distributed those films back then. And that's one thing about the 20th Century Fox buyout I'm actually pleased by. But enough of this yakking. Let's see the pictures, hear the record, and read the book. Look at that, they got Yoda on the label of the record. Here we go.
This is the story of The Empire Strikes Back. You can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn the page when you hear R2-D2 beep like this. Let's begin now.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Williams.
It was a dark time for the rebellion. After the loss of the Death Star, the evil Galactic Empire intensified its efforts to crush the Rebel Alliance. Princess Leia and her small band of freedom fighters sought out the remote ice planet of Hoth for their new secret base. From atop a shaggy tauntaun, Commander Luke Skywalker surveyed the snowy landscape.
Well, girl, no sign of Imperial troops. It looks like we're safe for now.
Oh yeah?
Deep in the frozen caverns of the Rebel base, the famous star pilot Han Solo watched a blip on the radar screen.
Looks like trouble. An Imperial probe droid. Come on, Chewie. Let's take care of that thing.
Outside, Han and his Wookiee co-pilot tracked down the intruder. As Chewbacca distracted the droid, Han blasted it into 1,000 fiery pieces.
Wow! Classic laser blast!
Destroyed. The probe had transmitted a final message to the evil commander of the Imperial fleet, Darth Vader.
Set a course for Hoth. The rebels are there, and Skywalker...
That's no James Earl Jones!
Suspecting danger, the rebels began evacuating their base. Princess Leia's voice rang through the ice halls.
Air and ground troops, to your battle stations.
If Corporal Cateman were here, he'd say, "Whoa, it's a fire drill!"
As the rebels waited nervously for an enemy attack, the ground began to tremble violently. Inside the base, ice walls shattered and heavy machinery toppled to the ground. Han raced to
know what's heading this way, Princess, but it's shaking the place apart.
Walkers, huge dinosaur-like war machines, stalk their
yes.
way across the snowy ground.
How they're done with stop motion
Cannons
too.
roar as they march toward the base, crushing everything in their path. Luke led a squadron of snow speeders against the machines.
It's no use. Their armor's too strong for our blasters. But we've got to hold them off long enough to get everyone out of the base.
As the last wave of rebels left Hoth, Princess Leia turned quickly to Han.
Well, I guess this is goodbye. I've got to get to my craft now.
Suddenly,
That sounds like Tress McNeil.
blocking her escape route. Han tugged Leia toward the Millennium Falcon.
It looks like you're stuck with me, Your Highness.
The golden droid C-3PO shuffled hurriedly after them.
Surely you wouldn't think of leaving me behind.
Oh, look, it actually spells them by letter and number too, instead of
Leia's Imperial troops
spelling it
into
phonetically like in the first one.
to start the Falcon's engines.
Would it help if I got out and pushed?
Leia,
This baby's still got a few surprises. Okay, Chewie, punch it.
the Falcon roared out of the hangar, leaving Vader empty-handed.
I want that ship.
It's weird hearing that voice combined with the actual breathing
C-3PO
sound.
sighed happily.
Thank goodness we're finally safe.
Don't get too comfortable.
Warned Han.
We've got some TIE fighters right on our tail.
And they're gaining, hotshot.
Added Leia.
Well, if I can't outrace them, Your Highness, I'll just have to outfly them. Voila!
Han steered straight into a dangerous asteroid field. Under his skillful control, the Falcon dodged left and right, just scraping past the speeding rocks. Unable to follow Han's wild course, the pursuers smashed into the asteroids.
Now let's find a safe port.
Smiled Han. His terrified passengers agreed wholeheartedly. Back on Hoth, Luke boarded his X-Wing fighter and greeted his droid co-pilot R2-D2.
Okay,
Yep.
R2. All ships are away. Now, let's get out of here.
As Luke punched a new course into the computer, he heard a questioning chirp.
That's right. We're not joining the others. We're going to Dagobah. I'm going to train to be a Jedi, like my father.
Darth Vader
Oh,
sat
but
in
little does he know.
the adaptation chamber aboard the Imperial destroyer Avenger when an urgent message from the Emperor arrived.
There is a grave disturbance in the Force. Should young Skywalker become a Jedi, he will be a terrible threat to us.
An evil plan began to form in Vader's mind.
He will join us or die, my master.
Yeah, that Darth Vader voice is pretty strange. Though I will say Corey Burton did a pretty good job imitating Mark Hamill's voice for Luke Skywalker. Of course, the real Mark Hamill's quite the voice actor himself, and he's pretty talented at doing character voices, especially the Joker from Batman. And Tress McNeil, I think that's her, does a decent job of Princess Leia. Of course, using the actual John Williams music score and the Star Wars sound effects helps a lot, since as I said, this was in the days before home video was more common and affordable. Heck, The Empire Strikes Back didn't come out in home video until 1984. Yeah, I read this book here, Mouse Tracks, which is co-written by my friend Greg Ehrbar, how Lucasfilm sound designer Ben Burtt came to Disney Records to supply the authentic sound effects. And in the process, he was able to obtain some classic Disney and RKO sound effects, such as Davy Crockett's rifle and the lion roar that was run backwards to the original King Kong. Since Ben Burtt collected classic movie sound effects that made sense, in addition to coming up with neat new sound effects, it's almost like how I, i.e. the channel creator, enjoys collecting classic cartoon sound effects to use on this channel. Yeah, you know, these things. But let's not get too off topic. Yeah, let me turn the record over and we can continue with the rest of the story, including Yoda's introduction. After all, he's on the cover of the book and on the label of the record.
Darth Vader knew he could catch Luke in a deadly trap if he used the right bait, Han and Leia. From all over the galaxy, Vader summoned bounty hunters.
I'm offering a generous reward for finding Solo and the princess. After I have Skywalker, you may have Solo. I'm told he has a handsome price on his head. This could be a very profitable undertaking for you, gentlemen.
Luke's fighter landed on the murky swamp planet of Dagobah.
Yeah, and it's raining there
Kenobi
too.
said I'd find Yoda, the Jedi Master, here. But this place gives me the creeps. I feel like...
You feel like what?
Oh,
Luke drew his blaster and whirled around to see an ancient little creature emerging from the fog.
that's him.
The odd creature pointed to Luke's blaster.
Away, put your weapon. You'll not learn the ways of the Force with that. So, you wish to become Jedi, like your father?
But how do you know about the Force or my father? Why, you're Yoda. I was expecting someone larger.
Judge me not by size, for my ally is the Force.
Corey Burton's voice for Yoda reminds you of how the voice actors in the Muppet Babies shows would voice the title characters. And yes, as an in-joke in one episode parodying The Empire Strikes Back, they had Baby Animal be
The
Yoda.
skeptical youth replied.
Okay, I'll try.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
So, under Yoda's instruction, Luke learned to use the Force for good.
The Force.
Meanwhile, Han brought the Millennium Falcon in for a landing on the immense floating colony of Cloud City.
My buddy Lando runs this place. He and I go way back. We used to be partners in the sweetest smuggling racket.
But can we trust this friend of yours?
Asked Leia.
No, but he has no love for the Empire.
Lando led his guests to the banquet room to celebrate their arrival. Suddenly, Imperial stormtroopers surrounded them.
Sorry, old buddy,
Said Lando miserably.
Darth Vader and a bounty hunter arrived just before you did. I had no choice. They're looking for someone called Skywalker.
But why would Vader want Luke?
Wondered Leia. At that same moment, as Luke was training, a frightening vision formed in his mind. He saw his friends imprisoned on Cloud City.
I must go to them.
Yoda shook his head.
No, ready you are not. Only a Jedi can defeat Vader. The training you must finish, then go.
But they're my friends. I'll be back, Master Yoda. I promise.
Darth Vader stood in Cloud City's carbon freezing room.
I'll take Skywalker to the Emperor, frozen but unharmed. We'll test it first. Bring in Captain Solo.
Han was lowered into a deep pit. Sub-freezing gases swirled about him, encasing him in a hard metal form.
Solo's alive and in perfect hibernation. Excellent. reset the machine for Skywalker.
Luke's X-Wing slipped into Cloud City. Led by the Force, he found himself face to face with his
Here it
enemy,
is.
Darth
The
Vader.
iconic fight.
Their lightsabers sprang to life. Luke attacked boldly, forcing the Dark Lord to retreat.
You have learned much, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet.
Spoiler alert.
Darth Vader slashed the weapon out of Luke's hand and backed him onto a bridge.
Don't make me destroy you. Your future lies with me, for I am your father.
Luke was stunned.
No. No! It's not true! I'll never join you!
With that, Luke stepped from the bridge and plunged
Yep.
helplessly toward the emptiness below.
Yep, that's the famous scene, which Pixar, of course, parodied in Toy Story
Lando
2.
secretly released Leia and Chewbacca.
Here's some blasters. Come on, we're getting out of here.
But we've got to try to save Han.
But before Leia could finish, they were caught in a crossfire.
Stormtroopers, quick, to the Falcon.
Just before Luke tumbled into space, he managed to grab a protruding weather vane. As the Millennium Falcon streaked away, Leia saw Luke dangling precariously beneath Cloud City.
Hold up.
We get under him.
Lando opened the top hatch and pulled the wounded youth safely inside.
Okay, now can we get out of here?
They'll have time to save Han Solo in the next sequel.
Soon after, Luke awoke in the medical center of a rebel cruiser. Lando greeted him.
Hi, kid. I'm glad I got to see you before I left. Chewie and I are going to find Han. The bounty hunter's got a head start, but we'll catch up.
Luke and Leia watched the Millennium Falcon launch away.
Take care, my friends. And may the Force be with you.
Oops. Well, that's okay. The music just fades out anyways. And there you have it. Gee, it's still hard for us to believe that Disney co-produced these read-alongs with Lucasfilm before the buyouts from the previous decade, maybe foreshadowing the future. In addition, Disney Records also produced and released a Storyteller LP album of The Empire Strikes Back, complete with a 12-page gatefold booklet with screen caps and a film to visualize what's happening on the album. Not unlike your typical Disney Storyteller vinyl album, or even the cassette editions. 3 years later, they also did one for Return of the Jedi, along with one of the original Star Wars film that year. As back in 1977, 20th Century Fox Records released their own story album of the movie. Also in the mid-90s, TW Kids reissued those 3 Star Wars read-alongs under their own name as cassette-only editions. And later in the decade, Disney Records produced brand new read-along adaptations of those films to tie in with the special edition reissues of them and to promote the first of the prequels, The Phantom Menace. Kid Rhino did a read-along edition of that when it was new. And then of course after the Lucasfilm buyout, Disney came out with new read-alongs of those prequels, taking advantage of those recently acquired properties' popularity. Well, except for how many dislike Jar Jar Binks, of course. But I guess that's enough for now. Where I am, the coronavirus is still going on, and it was supposed to end today, but it was extended for 2 more weeks. Sheesh. So I guess doing this video wasn't a total loss, but of course, stay tuned to this YouTube channel as always to see what comes up next during this crisis.